Welcome back to lecture 17 of Financial Mathematics for Actuaries. We are in week 4. This is the second lecture of week 4, and in first lecture we dealt with annuity immediate. Today we are going to deal with a cousin of this, which is annuity due. Okay, so let us first understand the differences between these two annuities and then discuss our today's roadmap. So lecture 16 we handled annuity immediate, where payments were made at the immediately after the end of the period. Examples were loans, mortgages. The typical characteristic trait that determines this annuity immediate is the first payment is at t is equal to 1. Okay. Contrast this with what we are going to study in today's lecture. It's annuity due, identified with the symbol over with a double dot on it, right. So payments are essentially made at the start of each period. Examples are rent and insurance, and the defining characteristic is first payment is made at t is equal to 0. So if you notice, both of them look very similar except for this timeline shift. So what we are going to do in today's roadmap is we will first visualize this timeline shift and we will make it clear what is immediate, what is due. Once we have done that, we will actually find the connection, because both of them are looking similar. So we will find a connection between these two, that is the formula which will help us to derive this golden relationship, and then we will understand how to use our calculator, who is our friend, in BGN mode to calculate this annuity due. And then finally we will apply this to real world problems like lottery decisions and other stuff. Reference mapping as usual is very clear. Browerman and from section 2.1 and Chan and say section 2.2. So let us hit our first agenda, which is visualizing the time shift. Okay, so here is our annuity immediate. You are not paying at the beginning of the period, but you are paying immediately after the end of the period. So our time slots are here for payments, correct? What happens? So you are essentially paying 1, 2 and so on, and the last payment is at nth stage. Okay. Now when you want to shift left, that is you want to shift all these payments to the beginning of the period, because the rent is paid in advance, everything shifts to left. Once everything shifts to left, what happens? You are at t is equal to 0 and your last payment is at t is equal to n minus 1. This particular structure is annuity due. So you have annuity immediate and annuity due. Okay. So now the intuitive link is very clear. We are shifting to the left. Okay. So why does the shifting to the left matter? It's very easy. We are having more money in our pockets if we are in the receiving end. So you are receiving money earlier is always better, because for one extra period that money will sit in your account and money earns money for itself, right? So that is where every payment which sits in your account will add one extra period as compared to the immediate version. So if you are in the receiving end, receiving this is very beneficial. So what this one extra period, if I use this one extra period, can I establish a link between annuity immediate and annuity due? The answer is yes, of course, because what is happening is just money is sitting for one extra period. So I will earn the interest for that one extra period. So whatever I am getting value for that immediate, if I make it sit for one extra period in my bank account, value due will come. Okay, so value immediate multiplied by 1 plus I will give me value due. So how will this translate to our new formulas that we have derived. We already have a formula for annuity immediate. If I multiply that formula with 1 plus I am getting the formula for annuity due. Great. So, there is nothing much, it is just that multiplication by 1 plus I matters. So, let us use this multiplication by 1 plus I and define this symbol double dot A n, A double dot angle n, that's how it is pronounced, and the golden relationship is A double dot is A n, A double dot angle n is A angle n into 1 plus I. Okay. Now, we already know that this A n is 1 minus V raised to n upon I. We are multiplying by 1 plus I. Okay. So, now you also know that I upon 1 plus I is nothing but the discount rate recollect from week 1. So, if I substitute that, then this formula actually becomes 1 minus V raised to n upon D. It is like discount dividing by discount rate rather than interest rate. However, in practice you may not need to remember this formula, because it is very easy to multiply with 1 plus I rather than remembering this formula. It unnecessarily increases your cognitive load. So, we will stick with multiplying with 1 plus I. Okay. Now comes your important slide, which is how to use your calculator. This calculator generally starts, I have already shown in the last class that it is very efficient at doing all these calculations with cash flows and annuity calculations for present value. But by default this calculator will assume end mode, and for rent and insurance sectors you can't use this end mode. So, you have to switch to BGN mode. And how to switch to BGN mode? The instructions are given here. Press, so I will unveil these instructions and I will follow each of them in our calculator. So, let me bring this calculator to the other end so that these instructions are visible. Okay. So, you look at this as usual, as a key you just clear all the work that is required. Okay. Now, the first instruction says press second begin, BGN, right. So, right now where are we? That is what we need to first figure out. So, as I have done this second clear TVM, I have already reset, and here if you look at this particular part, it is mentioning end, right. So, I will show you now how this is relevant. So, I will just press second and then I will choose this BGN, which is on this PMT just above. So, this pay time is end. So, now we are in the end mode. You observe this as well. Okay. Now, what I will do, it shows end mode. I will again press second and then I will press set. Now, you see it is in BGN mode. Okay. Is the matter over? No. I have to now press second and quit it. Now, you see the toggle has become BGN instead of end. Okay. So, this is very important. So, that means I am in the right mode. Okay. And I can solve problems for rent and insurances. Okay. So, this is the first important step. Let us now move to some examples where we are actually looking at the apartment lease problem. Okay. So, the problem is rent is $1,000 per month at the start of month for 1 year. Interest is 12%, which is compounded monthly, that is 1% per month, and therefore I am asked to find present value. It is very clear, right. So, 1% per month, there are 12 periods. So what should be my V? It should be 1.01 raised to minus 1, 1.01 raised to minus 1, and we will simply work for our computational purposes. We will simply work with annuity immediate. So this is PV. If I consider annuity immediate, which is end period in my mind, then what will it be? That's what we will do. So it's basically 1000 per month, and then it's A with 12 and interest rate of 1%, right? So that will give me 1 minus V raised to n, which is 1.01 raised to minus 12, because there are 12 periods, upon the interest rate per month, which is 0.01. Whatever that answer will come out to be something like 11,255.08. You can solve it using the calculator. And once I have this answer, what I have to do is, I want to start at the begin, right? So I have to go to PV begin in the BGN mode. So what I will do, whatever is that number, I have to multiply it with 1 plus I. Everything is multiplied with 1 plus I, so it's 1.01, and whatever answer comes will be my answer, which is 11,367.63, which I have calculated. I will show you in calculator also. This will be the answer. Okay, so now let us see the printed answer. It's this and this. These are the two steps. So I don't have to by heart the formula for PV begin, because if I by heart the formula, I have to go with this compounding to find a discount rate D, discount factor D, which will be slightly complicated. So I don't have to do that. It's a simple way to do it. And another simple way to do it is using calculator. So here is our setup. And we have to feed in all these values, and once we feed in all these values, we will get our answer. Okay, so let us again, second, clear TVM. Now I am setting to end mode, correct? So what I will do, I will go to second, I will go to BGN, payment is at end, so I will set, I make it BGM, then I will quit. Okay, so now it is in BGN mode. BGN mode is on. My N, there are 12 months of payment, so my N is 12. What is my interest rate? Interest rate is 1%, so I enter that 1%. How much monthly payout is there? It's 1000 rupees, but it is the outflow, so I will make this 1000 to be negative 1000, and then put it in PMT, which is monthly payout. And what future value do you expect from this transaction? It's going to be 0, right? So I will enter 0 and I will press it as to be the future value. So what I am calculating here is present value, right? So compute, I will press present value. See, 11,367.63, that is with end mode, and that's what our answer was with our mathematical calculations. Done. So this exactly matches our logic perfectly, and this is how you should calculate all the present values with BGN mode. Okay, next I suggest that you basically reset. Okay, you go to end mode. Otherwise, if some calculation comes with end mode, you may be making lot of mistakes. Okay, so now it's your time to check your knowledge, and I will give you one problem which is called the lottery decision. You have won a lottery and you are given two choices. First choice is you will get a lump sum of 50,000 today. Second choice is you will get $10,000 a year for 6 years starting from today. Assume the interest rate is 6%. Which one is better? Okay, pause the video, calculate both the answers and tell me which one is better. Okay, welcome back. You must have calculated. Which one you got, option 1 or option 2? Option 1 is present value of 50,000. You will get 50,000 and that's all. Okay. So now if I want to compare the second option, what do I need to do? I need to bring all those payments of 10,000 to the present value and see whether I am getting more or less. So let's look at that. So annuity due is essentially you will get 10,000 upfront, right? So it's annuity due. So 10,000 A angle 6 at 6%. Okay. So you already know the formula. We will simply substitute that formula, and in this formula also we know that we will first calculate this annuity immediate and multiply it with interest rate 1.06, right. So that's what we are going to do, nothing else. And if you do that, you will immediately see that annuity due is 5.2124. I will multiply this with 10,000. Then you will see that the present value of this option 2 is actually 52,124 as of today. So which option will you choose? Of course, option 2 is better because as of today you are getting $2,124. Okay. So this is a wonderful way to understand how the cash flow works and how you will earn more in due course of time. Correct. So if you want, we can actually do this problem with our calculator also in BGN mode, and you can solve. You try on your own and see whether you are getting the same answer. So it's an exercise for you. Okay. Now we have done everything with present value. A similar analog for future value should be there, right? So the answer is yes. So whenever you are dealing with future value, you are calculating this SN, right, which is the future value, S angle N. So if I want to do it for annuity due, you just have a double dot over it and the relation is more or less similar. So you will multiply whatever values you have with 1 plus I. So if you do that, you will again get into this particular factor, which is 1 plus I raised to n minus 1 upon d. But the logic is more or less similar. The only thing that you have to see is you are depositing the last amount at t is equal to n minus 1, and it has one full year to earn the interest before we value at t is equal to n. That is what the logic check you have to do, and that is where this 1 plus I becomes prevalent. That's all. Okay. So now let us look at this, how to use this BGN mode and solve for unknowns. Let us solve for unknowns in BGN mode. How long to save for earning $1 lakh if I deposit $5,000 every year? And this is earning interest at 6% rate. So this is the money that you have to deposit from t is equal to 0. Okay, and how long should I deposit? That's the idea. So how will you solve this? It is wrong to solve for S angle n equal to 20, which is the payment due one period later. I want to solve for due, okay, annuity due, and we are doing this S double dot. We are denoting it by S double dot angle n, and I will solve for S double dot angle n equal to 20. So then rest of the calculation is very simple. Here is our calculator. Let us see how to set the BGN mode. second, then you go to this end, this is end. So I will switch using this second, enter, it went to BGN, then again I will press second and then I will press quit. Okay, so the calculator is in BGN mode. Now I need to input the data. In this example, the input is 6%, which is I by Y. Okay, then my PMT is minus 5000, so I will enter 5000. I will negate it with plus minus sign and add that as PMT, and then I know my future value is 100,000, right. So I will enter that value 100,000 and then I will put this as my future value. Okay, so with all these things I have done except for the present value, which is 0. So I will set 0 as my present value. Now what is not calculated is the number of years. So I will press compute and I will press N. You can see the answer is 12.9931. That's my answer to this question. Okay, and we have successfully shown how to use the BGN mode. Okay, so this brings us to the last slide, the trap. Whenever you are in BGN mode, you always switch back to the end mode. I have already demonstrated that anytime you are doing, you have to clear that TVM, and if you fail to do that, any loan problem that comes to you where you have to pay in a immediate manner, you will fail in solving that problem. So the best practice is always going to be reset to the end mode, and therefore we have learnt a lot about annuities due and annuities immediate in the previous lecture, and let us summarize what we have done today. We have completed annuity due, which are the payments that are due at beginning of each period, time 0, 1 and so on up to n minus 1. We have established the relationship between annuity due and annuity immediate, which is just multiplication of 1 plus I. If you rewrite this formulation, you will get D in the denominator, but it is optional. Most of the times you will work with this 1 plus I factor. Okay. In calculator, what is a new thing? We have switched to BGN mode. Don't forget to switch back to end mode. Next up, we will look at the future value of our savings. Okay. So it's a saving fund problem that we will try to solve. See you in the next class. Thank you.